yes, this is worth it. This is worth the money. There, you can go and buy it now. However, if you want more of an in-depth review, continue on. What's up, guys? It's Brandon, aka The Workman's Pump, and here I'm back at it again with a review to talk about the Lockhart's X Proof Collab Razor. Now, if you're here and you're wanting to get information about this, I'm assuming you're probably familiar with wet shaving. If you're not, I'll do a quick run through of how it differs from, I guess, what you could call standard shaving. Like standard razors usually have like these 4 heads or the 4 blades on the head, you know, usually like a pivoting head like this. You take like shaving cream and just do your normal shave and go on your day. Now the difference between this and a razor, or the difference between like a standard shaving razor and a wet razor, is that these usually pop off. They can be old school or new school, but the tops will pop off or they'll screw off like this one. And you put a single razor. They can be from packs like this. You can get all sorts of different types of brands, Japanese, German, American, but you would typically just take one little razor like this, put it in the top, and then if you like to do the whole ritual thing, you can get the shave soap. I like the soap in the bowl, and a shave brush, put it on, and then shave with your razor. Now, what is the benefit to shaving with one of these as opposed to one of these? Well, I find that this is less irritating on my skin. I feel like it's faster because you can do 1 or 2 passes. For most people, they're shaving their whole face. For me, I'm just doing my neckline and my beard line. So I can get pretty quickly. And the blades, you can get like tons of boxes of different types of blades, different brands, very, very cheap. So it's cost affordable. Your investment is up front, although this was like a cheap knockoff Merkur razor. Sorry if I said that wrong. And you can get like pretty good standard razors like this that will get you into wet shaving. And that's usually the cost is just up front of buying the razor, and then the blades are super cheap. So I like that. Some other people might say that like using the shave brush and the shave soap, they like the ritual of doing the whole thing. You know, that can be seen as a plus or a negative. But for me specifically, I use a razor, a wet shaving razor, opposed to one of these because I have sensitive skin. And passing with 4 or 5 blades just messes up my neck. It makes me break out, I get zits, and like makes my face all red, and I can't do it. So shaving with one of these is very beneficial to me. What are the positives of this? It's quick, it has a pivoting head, and you can just do it when you're in the shower and move on your way. Also, you don't necessarily have to have the whole ritual of shaving with the shave brush and the shave, you know, soap in the cup, or like getting a separate cup and putting the lather in there and doing all of this different stuff. You can just shave and go with this. That's typically what this is seen for. Whereas these is usually associated with, well, you have to know the skill, you have to be part of the ritual. Also, with these, it's a fixed head, so you have to shave at a certain angle, usually like a 30-degree angle. And if you do it wrong, you can cut yourself or dig into your skin. If you don't, some of these are weighted different, some, you know, yada, yada, yada. So there's a pretty heavy learning curve to this. So that's where the Lockhart's Proof razor comes in, because it is a razor that is for wet shaving, but it also has a pivoting head. Now, I did some research because when these first came out, I think they're restocked now, and I talked to Steve a while back and he said he's going to try to continue to keep them stocked, but I can't promise anything. That was just a brief conversation, so sorry, Steve, for leaking our DMs. The thing about this is that on the Proof website, you can buy this razor, not the Lockhart's version, but you can buy it. It's called the Benchmark, and it's $79. That's what this razor is going for by itself. But right now it's typically like, you know, it can be like packed with something. I bought it with the this shave soap and the shave, the aftershave, the Goon aftershave, Goon Milk. I bought it with that for $100, which I thought was a pretty good deal because you essentially get one of them for free. But on Proof's website, you can get this for $79, and then there's the middle range, which is called the Select. The regular one's called the Benchmark. The medium range one is called the Select, and it's $120. Now, the reason I like this collab over the Benchmark or the Select is that this has the Benchmark body, but it has the kind of like grooved head that you get with the Select. The Select has like a hollow part right here to make the razor a little bit lighter. But other than that, to me, I can't notice anything different. I'm just a casual shaver. So for me, paying that much more money isn't worth it. But when I was looking at it, I was like, man, I want the one with like the grooved head. The Benchmark has the smooth head. Well, look no further, because the Lockhart has the Benchmark body and it has the head of the Select. So go ahead, that's awesome. This also has a warranty on it. I don't know the full extent. I want to say it's a lifetime warranty, but I don't know the full extent of it, but it is good. I'm assuming you can go to Lockhart's or to the Proof website to further explore those options. But let's get into the razor. So how the razor works is it has this little spring back here. And I thought that when I got it, it was going to be like pretty flimsy, but like no. And when you shave, you barely have to move it. Like, let me see if I can like just show you from the side. Like if I was shaving, see how it barely presses? I don't have a blade in here, but when I'm going down, if I was shaving, it barely presses like that. You barely have to put any sort of like weight into this. And actually, when I had, I first loaded this, I loaded it with a feather blade, which is a Japanese blade and is known for being particularly sharp. I was like, is this even shaving? It was so smooth and light when I was doing it. You barely have to put any pressure. So some people are like, oh man, the spring's gonna go out. There's no way you're like pressing it back that hard unless you're digging into your skin, which you don't need to do with this. So how it works, like I said, it's got the little spring on the back. And then the thing I like about this is it has a magnet part for the blade, a magnet part on the top, so it super like locks in. I'll show you from the back. Let me see. So you can kind of see here. See, I mean, it's like locked in that quickly. Doing a blade, I like these. I started using these Persona blades, the blue ones. I'll show you how you do it. You just get a blade like this, break it in half in the paper, and then take the blade out of the paper. Be careful that you're not grabbing the blade side. And then I grab it from the edges like this. Let's see if I can show you if I can do it right. Well, you just put it in and then it just magnets itself in there. And then you just magnet the head on. Now, the only negative I have about this razor is there was one time I had a hard time taking the head off and I cut myself. But I did learn there's these little gaps up here and you can just pull on them and then it'll get the blade out. So, but when you start shaving with these, I'll notice that like sometimes this blade will stick to up here. So to avoid cutting yourself, you could just get like something very small, a toothpick or something, and pull up on that if you're afraid of cutting yourself. I just use my fingernail. It's not hard, but the magnet is strong. So now it's loaded. I mean, I can even show you like here, just like a dry part. Like, I know I'm not supposed to be dry shaving, but like, I mean, it's smooth now. It barely took any sort of pass with that. And now it's clean. I'll do the other side, why not? So there it is. You know what I mean? It's very easy to use. One other thing that I like to add about this razor real quick that I forgot, so I came back, is that it comes with this leather case. It's the Lockhart's Proof on it. And another important thing that I wanted to add is that when shaving, if you're new to wet shaving, you need to understand that the quality and the longevity, the closeness, how sensitive you might be, etc., are going to be based on the blade. The Lockhart's razor is just the apparatus to get you there. But just be warned that if you're new to wet shaving, you'll have a significantly different shave based on the blade you use. So if you're brand new, I would say get a blade sampler. Who would this be really good for? I would say somebody who has sensitive skin, somebody who doesn't want to invest all the time in learning every little aspect about wet shaving and like get into the science of it, but like still have the affordability of the blades and still have the quickness and the closeness of the shave. And I would say even somebody who wants to get into all that and get into like the in-depth and crazy stuff, but is having a hard time getting into it. I think this is an excellent razor. Now, you know, who knows what the longevity of this would be like, but considering it has Proof, has a really good warranty on this, I would say it's worth the plunge. Additionally, I'd like to add that once again, I really like that it uses the Select razor head up here and it has the benchmark body. It's the best of both worlds, and not to mention it has the cool Goon logo, it has the cool Lockhart's green. All in all, I thought that dropping $100 on a razor and some shave soap and like essentially a shave kit was absurd. I was like, man, $100 on a razor, that's like so much, like $80 on a razor. Now that I've got this, it's like I would never shave with anything else ever again. I just don't see the point in it. This was one of the best shaving investments I've ever done. So that's my take on it. Like, I think that this is going to be great for a certain type of person. That's what I have to say about it. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you got this razor and what you think, or if you got the Benchmark or the Select, and tell me how you feel about it, and have a good one.